Hey KU fans, welcome back to Allen Fieldhouse. It's a very rare moment when we are able to leave this building and still have daylight.
Beautiful sunlight.
But we did get some. It's actually a balmy 51, 52 degrees, 52. And KU just got done with a monster effort against Villanova. Number 1 Kansas takes down Villanova 74-71. Really just a hard-fought, tough, grinded-out type of game that you would expect between those two teams, but also that you would expect between number 1 against number 17. I'm Matt Tate. This is Benton Smith. This is KU Sports Extra, and Benton's going to start it off with his first thoughts.
My first thoughts were like you mentioned, it's kind of like grinded type of game. Like, it wasn't the prettiest game by any means.
No.
And like KU's offense was like effective at times, but it was never smooth. And I think you kind of saw that, and like they had 14 turnovers but only 9 assists. Like that's kind of indicative of like the lack of flow that the offense had, but they just made plays.
Sure.
And I mean, so much of that was just like Gerald Vick with like the bailout offense.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm
his
just hitting
specialty,
these shots.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's really good at that.
Yeah, when he's hitting shots like that, forget about it. You don't have to stand much of a chance of beating KU.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting too, because Gerald Vick goes for 29 points, Dedrick Lawson 28. He had 14 in each half. I mean, he was really unguardable. Villanova did not have a single player that could just lock him up one-on-one. Hence the 28 points. But what I thought was interesting is Bill Self after the game talking about that's how we have to play. Those two guys have to assert themselves. They have to be that aggressive, and they have to score for us. It's weird when you're a head coach, especially at a program like Kansas, and you have to implore guys to do that. But I think that's kind of how this first 9 games has gone. He's had to do that with those guys. Maybe today is a sign, just slightly, that they're figuring that out. Because if they do, this becomes a much more dangerous team. And again, they're 9-0.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Dedrick, at least, is just like he's kind of unselfish by nature.
For sure.
He just like he's such a laid back guy, and he's not like the kind of guy to be like, all right, this is my team.
Right.
We're running everything through me. But he can dominate like that offensively at times, like we saw today. So I think he's getting more comfortable.
Right.
And now when he sees those type of mismatches that he can exploit, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
Because he's got that experience behind him now.
Yeah, it's automatic, or getting to be automatic, and I also think he understands how important it is. I mean, this team needs a guy like that. They need to take advantage of those, and it's funny to say that. Again, they're the number 1 ranked team in the country. They have a lot of depth. They have a lot of talent, but they have guys that aren't clicking right now. Marcus Garrett, not a great scorer. 1 point today, but he played terrific defense. He was a huge part of the reason they won. Quentin Grimes struggled again. Can't count on him, and he's a starter. I mean, Devon Dotson was really good, but had a couple of turnovers and just, I think, the 1 assist. So, those are things that show you that this is not a team that's still put it all together yet. And if you have a guy like Dedrick Lawson that's willing to do what you just described, it makes it much, much more comfortable and easy for the rest of those guys to sort of fall in line from there. Bill Self called them headliners, Vick and Lawson. I think that's exactly what they were. I think that's exactly what they need to be. What do you think of Villanova? I mean, this is a team that lost a 3-point game to Penn in the Palestra, now a 3-point game at Allen Fieldhouse, and now they go play UConn at Madison Square Garden. That's a pretty fun stretch if you're on that team. Those are 3 incredibly iconic venues, but 2 of them have been losses already. So what were your just quick thoughts on Villanova overall?
I mean, I thought the way they defended early on was really kind of giving KU struggles. I think that was one of the reasons that KU never got into any type of flow. But once Eric Paschal got into foul trouble, I think you saw KU was able to kind of extend a little bit of a lead. Never much of a lead, obviously. Yeah,
they got up 9 right before half, 29-20 or something, and then the next thing you know, Gillespie hits for 8 in a row, and KU's only up 2 at the break instead of a much bigger lead, which I think changed the way the rest of the game went. I mean, if KU takes a 9-point lead into the half, that might change both locker rooms, but Gillespie was tough in that stretch, and Villanova was tough the whole way. I mean, that's Jay Wright, that's Villanova, that's what they're going to be. But KU was better, and they were better. I mean, I don't think it was a game where either team gave anything away. I just think the better team won.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the perfect way to say it, because
thank you.
And and I mean, give them credit for hitting free throws down the stretch.
Yeah,
because
KU
they
had 11
absolutely
of
had
12,
to.
right?
If they had choked a couple of those away in the last minute or so, Villanova could have stolen this
Yeah,
one. So
that would have been tough for these people to swallow. I mean, this was clearly a game that meant a lot to the fan base. I thought it was really interesting. The Self said the series is now 4-4 all time, and 7 of those 8 have been in the Self era. But Self says we're 1-2 against Villanova because the 3 games in the tournament are all the only ones he counts. They beat him in 2008 in the Sweet 16 on their way to the national title, and then of course the Elite 8 a couple years ago and the Final Four last year. So to Self, it's 1-2. To the history buffs around the world, it's 4-4. Either way, it's 1-0 today. Kansas moves to 9-0, and we'll be right back here on Tuesday night for South Dakota. One of those Ken Palm lower-rated teams. That might be a very welcome sight after the way this schedule has been so demanding so far this season. For Benton Smith, I'm Matt Tate. We'll see you guys here Tuesday night. Thanks for checking out KU Sports Extra.